sisters came to Ghana at the time, pre-independence time, when education was picking up. But it was the boys who were having the education. Good evening. It was the boys who were having the education. And they were invited in. And they put all their best in for the education of the girls in Ashanti. And they didn't close it to only girls in Ashanti. Girls from the north came in, from the central region came in, from the eastern region came in, from Accra came in, from the Volta region came in. So the whole of Ghana was in St. Louis Secondary School. Every part of the country had a presence in the school. And the sisters made sure that we were all integrated through our cultural festival that we used to have at least 2 or 3 times in a year. And that deep respect for each other, concern for each other, evolved in us, developed in us. And I think one of the things that St. Louis education did was that integration of all of us that passed through the school. So that when you are a St. Louis student, another person is a St. Louis student, you have that comradeship and that friendship that brings you together as sisters. And a certain pride that you have educational heritage, that holistic education that makes you able to adjust to every situation that you find yourself. And leadership was one of inherited training that we got. Sense of responsibility was put to us. And that was done because we did the work ourselves in the school. And we were rotating from the first year, we all did this type of work, cleaning here, then the classroom, the chapel, the dormitory, the dining hall, the toilet and shower. So by the time you finish your 5 years, you will know how to do any work that you are given. And the chapel and the dining hall used to be our pride, because entering a St. Louis dining hall, you will think you have entered some kind of a restaurant. In those days, even today, the standard of beauty, cleanliness, table setting, the standard was so good, so high. I'm here to still get that standard in other places that I have known. St. Louis is St. Louis. I think for me, that attracted me and so attracted me. And the sisters have always been a source of inspiration to me, because they came far away to enable us be educated, giving us Christian education, adding Christian values to our cultural values. And that baton that I received, I've also passed it on. And I'm still passing it on, because it's great to Christian value of concern, of responsibility, of striving, of being available, of being ready to serve, because they came and they served. And later on, when I look back, I noticed that in all those years, the sisters lived in half of the science block and half of the staff quarters. They were in small cubicles, but they spent the money in building the dormitories, the classroom, so many places for us to grow before they built the convent that they eventually moved on to 1970 when I was a postulant. That sacrifice of seeing that all is well before themselves, when I look back on it, I admire it a lot. And I salute them. I salute the sisters for giving us in Ghana this Christian education of dedication, of responsibility, of service, ever ready to serve our fellow. Our Ghana's experience of the chapter. I remember I was elected to be one of the members to go to, I think, 84 chapter. And it was a big experience because it was a chapter following other chapters that was showing a new direction of the Sisters of St. Louis. It was that time the option of the poor was in the air. And for me, a young sister, I must say I wasn't carrying a lot of baggage. So I found the whole thing fascinating. Even though others were disturbed because the face of St. Louis and the character of St. Louis seemed to be changing. But the option for the poor was something that the missionary sisters were already doing in Ghana. In deciding to come to Ghana, they have opted for the poor. They have opted to teach the ignorant, to help them build up their life, to empower them to take their lives into their hands. So when others were disturbed, I was very happy because that's what the sisters I know, that's what they have been doing all the time. So I was very much at ease. And I could share this very much with Isabel, who was also the first time Nigerian sister coming to the chapter, at that particular chapter that both of us were present. And we were delighted. So that that particular chapter came out with a mission statement. And that mission statement had and still is an inspiration in my life. Because in that mission statement, we brought the past and the present and the future together, challenging the Spirit of St. Louis to continue the work entrusted to Christ by the Father, entrusted to the church by Christ. And that is to be a source of inspiration to ourselves. Now we call ourselves household of disciples, called in mission. Household of disciples. Called, at the end, the chapter statement is powerful, challenging, and I think it's continually, even though new statements come out, it is the basis of 21st century direction of St. Louis. And I must say I'm privileged, I feel privileged and proud and happy that the Lord made it possible for me to experience that chapter. No, that was my first. And then the second chapter I went to was 97. And then I went as a delegate from Brazil. So I was combining Brazilian experience and African experience together. And the Brazilian experience and African experience are so unique, familiar, because in all these things, poverty is hard work. And we are stretching our hand to help families, to help women, to help children, to help people who need help in order to get up. And the same thing is happening in Africa, it's happening in Ghana, it was happening in Brazil. So in all these things, I know St. Louis is contributing to empowering of less privileged, the marginalized, in the area of education, because with education, the person has choice. The person will be able to know what to do and not what to do. So we, Ghana will say, in Ghana we say, I go well done to those who thought of it, and those who sacrificed their life, those who are dead and gone, who ventured to come to Ghana and to sow the seed and the spirit of St. Louis. All we have to say is, thank you, God bless you. And those who are dead, may they rest in peace. And I'm sure they are hearing me sharing this message right and now. So I wish all of you success in this production.